Hello everyone, today we are going to be looking at the describe two features of question. This is the first question that you are going to find in the medicine paper. Now, before answering this question, we need to understand the term features. A fancy way of putting this would be a distinct attribute, or a more easy to understand way of addressing this would just be a thing. Describe two things you would find in whatever the question may be. Now, for this exam, for this question, you will have 5 minutes to gain a total of 4 marks. And like any 4 mark question, you will not be expected to write a lot. As you can see in the exam paper here, they only give you 5 lines per section. And really, you shouldn't be writing more than 2 sentences per feature. Now, when we look into the marking scheme, we are required to do 2 things. As it says here, 1 mark for each valid feature identified. So you need to provide 2 features, and then also you need to provide a supporting fact or supporting information. Just go a bit further, show off a bit more knowledge after your first sentence. Now, in this video, we are going to be going through the question highlighted in green. However, there are also 2 questions that you can see in orange that I have pre-planned for you, just so you have a better chance of getting full marks, and then also 1 more question that you can attempt by yourself with no assistance. The first question, as we can see here, describe 2 features of the dressing stations where injured soldiers might be taken to receive treatment. Now, when you are looking at any of these questions, the structure remains the same. You give a feature, which you can start with this sentence starter, 1 feature of, insert question focus is, so 1 feature of the dressing stations where injured soldiers might be taken to receive treatment is. Then you give the first thing. Then you just need to provide a supporting fact or just give a little bit more detail to build on the feature that you have stated. Now, when you are answering this question, the one top tip that you need to remember is that you only need to write 2 sentences per feature. So you are not expected to write a lot. You really want to speed through this question to be able to gain some time for the more chunky questions like the how far do you agree style questions at the end. So this question is asking us for 2 features about a dressing station. Now, as you can see here, there is a number of things that we could talk about. We could mention a thing, which is that they were located just behind the trenches, and then add that little bit more detail stating that they were usually an abandoned building or tents. We could talk about the fact that they treated minor injuries so they could send soldiers back to the front lines. But to add that more information, those with more advanced injuries would be sent further down the evacuation chain. And finally, we could talk about the fact that it was staffed by medical officers, medical orderlies, and stretcher bearers. And the extra information here being after 1915, they also included nurses. And when you put this in to the structure that is required, it would sound something like this or look something like this. 1 feature of the dressing stations where soldiers might be taken to receive treatment would be that they were usually located just behind the trenches. They would be set up in abandoned buildings, or failing this, a tent. So there I've got 2 marks. Another feature of the dressing stations where injured soldiers might be taken to receive treatment would be that they would treat minor injuries to send soldiers back to the front lines. In the case of more serious injuries, they would be sent further down the evacuation line. Now, here is another question that you might get, that being 2 features of the use of the Thomas splint. In here, I've given a number of possible things you could talk about. Pause the video here if you want to review those. And also we have another question which is describe 2 features of ill health among soldiers that arose from the trench environment. And for this one, only having 2 features to talk about here, but nevertheless enough to be able to get full marks. So once again, if you want to attempt this question, pause the video here. However, from me, this is it. You just need to remember to not write a lot, to give a feature or a thing and a little bit more information about that, and do that twice. If you follow these steps, you will kick off your medicine paper with a great start, getting yourself full marks through the gate. Thank you